Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mandy, and today I'm going over how I lesson plan for my homeschool using my homeschool lesson planner from my Etsy shop. So if you guys see that you are interested in this, please check it out. It is linked down below. But first, I'm going to show you guys the curriculum that I'm going through. I usually put a little pile of our curriculum together like I did here. We use the Good and the Beautiful Math and Language. We use Masterbook Science, and we use Beautiful Feet for our history curriculum. Now you're going to notice that I was inspired to make my homeschool lesson planner a beautiful color of purple and golden yellow, inspired by one of my dashboard tabs that is in the front of my planner there. Very quickly skipped over that, but the layout of this in my Etsy shop is more of a muted green, gray, tan kind of color. It is not this color, but if you guys are interested in a different color block like this, you will have to let me know if you would like a different color if you want to purchase this from the shop. But the one in the shop is not purple and yellow like this. It is the green, gray, tan. So back to the lesson plan. The first thing I do is I set up my days. I use the first box to write any events or appointments. I think it's so important to know what you're doing that day, because obviously you may not be able to homeschool the way that you thought you would if you have random appointments. So writing in the things that we do every week and random things that come up are really important. A lot of the days we have to change because we have something going on. So I have to work our day around those things. So having those things written down is really important for us, especially if maybe we plan to get out of the house for just a fun reason, like just a hike or something. I need to write that down to remember it, but as also work our homeschool day around it. You're also going to notice to the right here, and it's going to be really quickly, but we have routines to the right. I may have to do a separate video on that, or maybe talk more about that at the end of this video, but these routines are more for myself. We have gather time, we have pick 2 a day, and we have lessons, and I label them with my son's initials so that way I know what's for which child. The one in the shop, these are blanks, so you would just write in what you need to write in. But our routines are helpful as a guide for myself. So as we go through gather time, we can basically, I can remember the order of things I want to do, like our prayer, our Bible, our character cards. I have read aloud on the list. And then if we get to it, I have mystery Doug and worship. For pick 2 a day, my older son has 4 things like handwriting, math facts, a spelling page, and a history fun page. And then my preschooler has just random math page, letter page, reading a book. So things that they can do that are separate from the lessons. And then some of those things are done every single day. I have little check boxes. The options in my Etsy shop, there are multiple options. So you can get something like this without the boxes, with the boxes, and so forth. So you'll have to check that out if you're interested. So by now in this video, going super fast, I have scheduled out our science, history, and social studies. So that is where I use that 4th column down, which is the gold and yellow one. And now I basically just go through math and language, which is the bulk of the information here. I like to write the lesson number. I like to keep us on the same lesson number for math and language just for my brain. And I really like to write what we are working on. The second box of that day for specifically that subject, I will write other things that we need to do. Like, for example, practicing math facts for math. If there is something else that, we need to do for math, I'll write it there. But typically that's the 2 main things for math. It's the lesson and math facts. We're about to get to language, so I will start talking about that now because it's going to catch up to me. I know it will. So after I plan math, actually, let me add one more thing. When he has a page to do on his own, if I can go through the, like I am right now, if I can go through it ahead of time, which usually it's every Sunday or Monday, I will circle the pages he needs to do on his own. So that way in the morning, I can just open it up and say, go ahead and get started on your independent work. That is for language and math. Another thing I wanted to note, you might have just seen me take off like a little yellow sticky, but I also have this big pink sticky. The big pink stickies are for the lessons that we are currently on. The little yellow sticky is a sticky I like to have on the lesson for basically the lesson that we should be starting the next week. So that way, as we creep our way closer to that little yellow sticky, I can tell if we are behind or, if we're staying on track. It's nothing that I want to put pressure on myself for, but it just kind of keeps me looking like, okay, there's that, that there's Monday's lesson. So we're getting close to it. Now for language, I like to, again, write the lesson number, what it's called, and I really like to write some of the extra things The Good and the Beautiful has us do, where we kind of have to grab something else. So for example, he has to grab his poem book called I Sat by the Sea. So I will write that down with the pages. And then I will also look over his independent work to see if there's anything that he needs to do for writing or personal readers, because the personal readers have actually gone from like maybe 5 to 10 pages to like 20 pages all of a sudden. So we are having to put in a little extra time for that during the lesson or later in the day or even at night when we're reading together while the other two are taking their baths. So it's good for me to go over all of these things ahead of time so that way I can know what to expect for the week and give my son the expectations that he needs in order to be successful. That is why I love going over the lessons ahead and not just doing the open and go book style, which I love that it is. It's just for my brain. I really like to have reviewed it and have it written out. So as you can see, I put my little yellow sticky there. That's basically where we should start next week. Again, if like Thursday you see lesson 88 right there, I think we may not get to that because I realized we have our anniversary this week and some special things are happening, and that's okay. When that happens, as I go to plan next week now, I will just start Monday on the lesson that we, after what we left off on, and I'm okay with that. I won't check it off on this week, but I'll just basically start next week where we left off. The other thing I love about this lesson planner is that the bottom row or column, that is where I like to write all the other things. Home care, I do home care Friday with him. We have gardening that's happening, any baking, any basically home care, self-care, practical life, teaching them how to take care of themselves, all of those things I like to write here as ideas for myself to go over with them and teach them. I think it's so important that our kids know how to learn other things than bookwork, and I think that's a really good place for me to write them and show myself what else I'm trying to teach them. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting it right back into my planner. You are going to see that I keep it right next to my catch-all section. So my catch-all section basically has everything that I need for my to-dos that day, everything I need for dinners, my daily habits, routines, stuff like that, my cleaning. So I usually have my other events going on that page as well. So all I have to do is flip that page. I can see everything I have going on, and then I can flip to homeschool. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know there were some questions about some of the ways that I use this planner. And if you're interested, again, it is linked down below. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye, guys.